guys, Evan Ork here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a fan review show episode. Now, before a lot of you guys in the comment section go, I thought the series died, I thought the last episode was a long time ago. Well, yes, the last episode was a long time ago, but it's not because I lost interest or anything, it's just because I didn't really have many friends come out with fan films in between the last episode and now. And if they did, I probably didn't know the person who made it in this community, but in this case, a fan film is out, made by a very good friend of mine, and this gives me the good option to make a fan review show episode about it. Now, in this case, the movie that I'm going to be reviewing is Godzilla Before Radiation. Radiation. So basically, this is a fan film made by my really good friend, Gabezilla2004, and he has been working on this for practically 2 years. I literally remembered him starting this movie around 2019. I remember him talking about it all the way back in 2019. You know, it's crazy to think it's finally out now, 2 years later. But bottom line, I'm going to start out with the pros, the cons, and I'm just going to give my overall rate and maybe a little bit of feedback. Now, for those who haven't seen this movie and want a short synopsis, it's pretty much about a team of 4 people who are going to discover what would be, I'm guessing, Monster Island, and also is supposed to take place before Godzilla was known to the public, which was before 1954. Now, the first pro I want to give right off the bat is the fact that this mastered its 1940s feel. What I mean by that is that since this fan film was supposed to take place during 1945, the vibe that it gives off is definitely resonating with that time period, which, as I said, is around the 40s time area. Another great pro about this is that although the stop motion wasn't 100% smooth, because there were individual shots where it wasn't as smooth as the previous shot or anything other than that, I still have to give credit that all the monster scenes in this movie were stop motion, and trust me, that is not an easy thing to do for those people who have not done stop motion yet. The last 2 major pros in this movie, which are probably just as big as pros as the last 2, were that the storyline and the editing in this movie were also really well done. Of course, this movie would have been a 3 out of 10, a 4 out of 10, some kind of low rating, had this one line not been included in the movie.
Phil, before we go, is this hidden from the public?
Now it's time to recite the worst 7 words in the English dictionary for any person who is watching their fan film get reviewed by anybody else, and that is, it's time to get to the cons. Now, because this fan film came out just a few days ago, I can't really speak on behalf of everybody, but I can say at least most of the people's biggest con to this movie, and for me it's the biggest con of all, was the dialogue. To be more specific when it comes to the dialogue's issues, I think it has to do with the many spaces in between the lines, which of course creates an awkward silence. For instance,
I think this is a good spot. Thank God we lost that thing.
Alright, everyone who regrets coming here, raise their hand.
Now, a big problem I have with Gabe's fan films that I've also had with many of his other previous fan films was his use of Lego characters, because although Lego characters are good for stop motion movies, I don't really think they're the kind of characters to be used for live action fan films. Now, I know a lot of you Lego fans out there are going to kill me just because I said that, but if you allow me to get to my point being that if you've tried out the action figures I'm referring to and you've tried out Legos and you prefer Legos, then keep doing Legos. The difference is that, to my knowledge, Gabe hasn't tried out the action figures I'm referring to, and because he hasn't tried them, he's yet to see if they're better for the fan film, because I personally feel like they're better for fan films. It's true Legos have movement, but these action figures are much more articulated, and I feel like they're better to do all kinds of poses with. Trust me, they're way better. It's one thing to prefer it if you've tried out these action figures, but if you haven't, I recommend you give it a shot. Now, from here on out, all I really have is nitpicks when it comes to this fan film, like how the stop motion could have been unsmooth at times, the green screen being transparent, or how despite the fact it was in black and white, we could still make out that the sky was cardboard when I know you obviously have a blue paper that was working perfectly earlier as the sky. And finally, despite the fact it was unique, some 3D dimensional shots did look a bit off. Now, that's all the cons and pros I have for this movie. Definitely heard Gabe say several times that he didn't feel like this movie came out the way he wanted it to come out, and guess what? That is completely normal. Every fan filmmaker, after uploading their movie, or maybe even before uploading their movie, rewatches it and they're like, did I really intend for this scene to come out this way, or did I really want this battle to come out this way? Trust me, it is nature's way when it comes to fan films. So do not feel down about anything. This was indeed a great fan film. So overall, I'd rate this movie a 7.7 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It definitely deserves more attention by a long shot than it already has been getting. And I would also ask you to subscribe to Gabezilla2004. And by the way, as I said, this movie was still very good. And I know you're going to keep making fan films, as you've told me several times. So if you take a look at those cons, the ones I stated in this review, and I'm sure other cons that many other people gave you when watching this fan film, then I definitely can already see on the horizon a better fan film to come. So that's about it for this fan review show episode. Trust me, I really do like making this show, except I can't really make so many episodes up until I see more people I know make fan films, and then you'll expect more episodes of the show. But until then, can't say to expect more. But still, I hope you enjoyed this review as is. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.